friends, I'm Ellen Gormley. Welcome back to my channel. This is the second or third try of this blanket that I'm making, and so you might get another video if you're interested on the first try. So this is the little brother blanket to Marlee, and I'm using paint box yarn, Simply DK, and this is kind of an oatmeal color. It's color number 75. Anyway, I want to just briefly tell you real quick, in case you are interested in the other blanket. What I did with the other blanket was I started with this plain double crochet panel, and in the other video I'll show you the exact number of stitches, and I just made the double crochet panel because I needed kind of a mental break and to just crochet without really thinking. And then what I did was I made these scarves of this stitch pattern, and then I crocheted them onto the body. So it was pretty cool, but I did have to do some joining with crochet, and I wasn't thrilled with the overall proportion. Like ended up making the blanket more of a square, and I prefer blankets to be more of a vertical rectangle. So I had some extra yarn, and so instead of ripping that one apart, because it was a perfectly good blanket, I decided to make it a seamless all-in-one piece with a border at the top and bottom. And I started with the stitch pattern here, and I'm going to work the stitch pattern on either side of the blanket, and I think this is going to be my final draft, my final blanket of this. So I'm going to teach you today how to make this version, and then there's another video that teaches you the modular, like the plain body, add any edging you want, but I'll show you the method of how to add this edging and how to crochet it on, and you can decide which one you want for yourself. Anyway, so this is the Marlee's little brother. It happens to be the third try, but it is going to be the final version of the blanket. So this one, I put and I'm going to make a PDF probably of this and put it with the other blankets and make a group package PDF. Anyway, it starts with a whole bunch of chains, and then double crochet in the first row, and then we work the pattern for 6 rows, and at the next row when we start from then on, it's just the lace on the side, solid, 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 lace on the other end, solid, 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 lace, solid, solid, solid. You get it, so that it's worked all in one piece. So let's do that. So on that third try, the final numbers are, with my chicken scratch, look at this, look at all my, this is what happens. Starting over, third try, second try, until I finally get what I want. So this one, the final one, ends up being, the lace pattern is a multiple of 14, so we're going to do that together now. And there's 8 repeats for this blanket, so 14 times 8 is 112, and we need 4 turning chains. So to begin the blanket, the overall blanket, we would chain 116. But for today's little stitch pattern tutorial, we're going to do, let's just do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 14 plus 4. Now, ideally, I guess I would make 3 for you, but that's a pretty long swatch. So I would do 1 repeat, 2 repeats, 3 repeats, and then the middle repeat is where you would do just the double crochet if we made a tinier version of this blanket. I think you guys are astute enough to figure it out. So we're just going to teach you the stitch pattern here. So on the actual blanket, we would, I am doing chain 2s and turning, and then we would end up with 114 double crochets for our first row, okay? But here in our little swatch, we're going to double crochet in the 1, 2, 3, 4th chain from the hook, and I'm just teaching you the stitch pattern, and then I guess you will want to see the other version also, so that you can virtually make any blanket you want in that style with that other video, meaning you just make a big old field of double crochet as big as you want in terms of wide, and then you can attach any stitch pattern on the end of it as long as it's a double crochet based stitch pattern to match the body in terms of height of rows. And then I show you how to attach those vertical panels on. And then you just need to make sure that you have the right number of double crochet rows to match the multiple of rows in the stitch pattern. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I know that most of the people on my channel are pretty experienced crocheters, and you know that crochet is a relaxing and valuable use of our time, and a little bit of thinking is not too terrible, and most of you can intuit it out. And if you can't, that's okay. That's totally okay. But, you know, we don't always have to write down every little detail and do all the math for you. I know you guys know how to do a lot of that. So anyway, this stitch pattern is 14 plus 4. So you can make it as wide as you want. Just make sure that you do 14 times the number of repeats, and then add 4. And you can see that in this double crochet with this 5-point-millimeter hook, which is bigger than this one's a DK weight, but this one's a worsted, that this is approximately 4 inches. So if I wanted to make 28 inches across, then I would multiply this times 7. I would do 14 7 times and then add 4. Okay, but let's get into the stitch pattern. And it's the same stitch pattern we're using here in the blanket. So in the other video and in this video, I mean, technically the right way is to do a chain 3 that counts as the first double crochet in turn, but I just really like to do chain 2. It's just my personal preference. So whatever you do, be consistent. Chain 2 and turn. I'm counting that as the first double crochet, so I'm going to double crochet in the next. Every row will start with 2 double crochets on each side and end on the other side with 2 double crochets. Now this stitch pattern is a yarn over twice. We're placing a treble crochet, skip 2 in the 3rd stitch from the last. So we're placing a treble crochet. It is at an angle. We're going to chain 1, 2, 3, even though it's a double crochet because I'm being consistent. And around the post of that treble crochet that we had just made, I'm going to place 3 double crochets. So the chain 3 just a moment ago counted as a double crochet, and I'm adding 3 more, so a total of 4. It almost looks like a little entrelac block. Skip 1, 2 stitches. In the next stitch, we will double crochet. And in the next stitch, we will double crochet so that we have 2 there in the middle. Skip 1, 2, and in the 3rd, we're going to treble crochet again, 1, 2, skip, and we will do this little sequence again. Let me bring the camera a little bit lower for you. Move this out of the way so you get a clearer shot. I hope you are having a valuable and relaxing day. I don't know if I should release the other video. I guess technically because it's so similar, maybe I should release it on the same day. That way you guys know what the heck I'm talking about, rather than waiting a week and having you feel like you're just getting the same thing twice. Okay, so skip 2, and the next one double crochet. And then don't forget to double crochet in the turning chain there, okay, on the end, because we're finishing each row with 2 double crochets, just like we start each row with 2 double crochets. So here's what row 2 looks like. Okay, so chain 2 and turn, because that's the way I like it. You can do what you want. Double crochet in the next double crochet. Okay, we're going to chain 1, 2, 3. We're skipping these 3 double crochets, and in this chain turn here, we're placing a single crochet. Now we're not doing any chains here, but we will put 2 double crochets in the next double crochet and 2 double crochets in the next. So this pattern is really not super symmetrical, and so you really have to kind of be on your toes. I suggest that you get the stitch pattern down perfectly for the first occurrence of the first 6 rows, and then you can use that as a reference if you forget moving on. So now, because we had no chains here, it feels like there should be no chains here and just single crochet in here, but we've got these 3 double crochets to span. So we're actually going to chain 1, 2, 3 and place a single crochet there. Now we are very close to the end here, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to chain 3, but we're going to go ahead and just double crochet in each of the last 2 double crochets. And like I said, this stitch pattern, oh, I guess I didn't tell you in this particular video, that this stitch pattern is from page, or number 141 in page 109 from this book, The Complete Book of Crochet Border Designs, Hundreds of Classic and Original Patterns by Linda Schapper. And you can click in the description below this video. There is a link to Amazon, and if you happen to purchase this book or any other item from Amazon through that link, thank you so much. And I do get a little bit of a kickback, but it does not cost you anything. Chain 2 and turn. Remember to double crochet. We've got 2 double crochets on that front edge. And now we're doing the second occurrence of these entrelac type things with a treble crochet here. And chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which counts as the first double crochet of 4 that we're putting here around the post of the treble crochet. So we already have 1 with that turning chain 3, so we're placing 3 more. This is really pretty in this pink color. I do really like the oatmeal, and I really do like, I've really been loving DK weight yarn lately for baby blankets because it just has such great drape. Okay, as we came across those 2 sets of 2 double crochets in each, we're actually going to decrease now and decrease these 2 together and then decrease these 2 together. So we're doing a 2 double crochet together or a double crochet decrease using those 2 stitches, and we'll do the exact same thing on the next 2. So double crochet decrease is a double crochet, but we don't finish it off. Then yarn over and double crochet in the next stitch, but we don't finish it off. And yarn over and tie them all through together with a yarn over and pull through. And we'll do that one more time. So we're making almost a diamondy sort of shape here. Let me show you what I mean. So this, if you can see, if I hold it up to the light, you can kind of see a diamond forming here. Okay, with the points up here and the point down here and a point here and a point there, in that kind of free space in between these entrelac thingies. Technical term. So from here we're going straight into another one of those entrelac type things with a treble crochet in that big chain 3 space. And chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And double crochet 3 times around the post of that treble crochet to make that kind of diagonally looking double crochet section. Okay, so at the end of this one, we are going to go ahead and chain, did we chain 3 here? See, I told you this is where it gets a little confusing. So under the, we're on this entrelac-y row, and yes, there's 3 chains on either side of that entrelac-y. Nope, straight into the double crochets. Okay, so I literally took a picture of just 1 repeat of that stitch pattern, and I had it on my phone so that as a photo, so that I could refer back to it often because I was crocheting in the car. So it's kind of a tricky stitch pattern, but once you get it, you'll get it, even though I've been doing it and I already forgot it. But get your first one perfectly correct, and then you can go back and reference it whenever you need to. Okay, no shame in your game. So it is kind of fun also to be able to do a more intricate stitch pattern on the sides and then have lots of repetitive double crochet along the middles of the blanket when you get to that point. Chain 2 and turn. Okay, double crochet in that first double crochet so that we now have 2. Chain 1, 2, 3. Because we're skipping all of these double crochets and we're placing a single crochet here. Okay, now we will chain 1, 2, 3. Now as we come to those 2 double crochet 2 togethers, we're just placing 1 double crochet in each. So we increased and then we decreased, and then here we are back at the beginning. So we're chain 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're skipping 1, 2, 3 double crochets of this little tilted diagonal entrelac looking block, single crochet here. And now I kept forgetting to actually do a chain 3 here, 1, 2, 3, so don't forget that. And then you'll know that you are correct when at the end of your repeat, you do the double crochets, and you should have 16 double crochets per repeat, okay? So per repeat, no matter how big you made your blanket, from the 2 double crochets to the 2 double crochets, you should count, we'll be placing 16 double crochets here. There's 16 double crochets down there. That helps you kind of make sure that each section is correct as you move across the blanket. All right, so let me get to 2 more rows for you, and you'll see where I think you'll be able to do the entire blanket then. Okay, so double crochet. Now this is where we put the double crochet cap on it. So this is the 6th row in this repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're placing 2 double crochets in this chain 3 spot. Then we are going to double crochet in the single crochet. Then we will place 2 double crochets in the chain 3 spot. And then 1 in each of the next 2 double crochets, we are placing double crochets. And then 2 double crochets in the chain 3 spot. 1 double crochet in the single. 2 double crochets in the chain 3 spot. And double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Now, whether you are making this a scarf, whether you're making this a blanket, however you are making it, the next row starts the next section of repeat. So here's 1 complete repeat, and we're going to stack the repeats on top of each other like a block. So if the first repeat starts with a double crochet and ends with a double crochet, then the next one is going to start with a double crochet and end. So we will actually have 2 double crochet rows in a row while we finish this repeat and start the next one. So here is where on the blanket I have 1 repeat all the way across, and then we're starting the next repeat. So we would start and do our 16 double crochets, and then we would keep going with double crochets all the way across for that middle section, okay? And then when we get back to here, then we'll do the lace pattern. And then when we get to here, then we'll continue the double crochet. And it's happening on both edges. So when you get to this side and you're like, oh, where do I start the lace again? Remember that it's 16 stitches. So you can work kind of backward and count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then remember that each repeat starts with 2 double crochets. So when there's 16 stitches left, you know that you do 2 more double crochets, and that's the start of the repeat. And then that's the other end. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the next one, we start the next repeat with a chain 2, and we would be double crocheting all the way across because it is the first row of the next repeat. And because we would like start this repeat, and then after the 1 repeat, the middle section is double crochet, we would double crochet here and double crochet all the way along. I hope that that makes sense. And if you have more questions, I think watching the second video will also be very helpful. So I guess I'll just go ahead and post them both in the same day. So I hope you have a valuable and relaxing day, and hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button if you don't mind, and I will see you on the next video. Hi, I'm Gormley, and thank you so much for spending time with me on my channel. I hope you've had a relaxing and valuable use of your time. So if you liked this video, here's another one that's similar that you might also enjoy. And here is the video, the last video that was uploaded in case you missed it. Everyone, please like and subscribe for more videos. They're usually posted on Wednesday or Thursday at the worst. Thank you. Bye. Say goodbye, Muffin.